Hey everyone, it's Connor here. We've been making a lot of great updates to the model portfolio feature in Koyfin, and today I want to share two of those with you, focusing on portfolio sharing. But first, I want to cover one of the smaller updates we've made. So I'm going to head over to model portfolios here and click on this portfolio here, which is just a very simple ETF portfolio for demonstrative purposes. And you can see here that we've added the expense ratio. So the expense ratio is the portfolio's expense ratio as a weighted average of the expense ratios for the funds held in the portfolio. So this will only relate to funds, not individual equities. And this doesn't include advisor fees, transaction fees, or account fees. So you see in the setup of this very basic portfolio, I've added S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, some ARK Innovation, and then on January 11th, I added some Bitcoin Trust ETF exposure as well and equally weighted those. When I went and saved the changes, now in Koyfin, we show you the expense ratio of those individual funds as well as the portfolio weighted average expense ratio. So we can see here that my portfolio relative to the S&P has an expense ratio of 0.3% compared to 0.09%. This should help you tweak your portfolio and figure out if you're paying over the odds for the exposure that you have. We have lots more exciting updates to come to model portfolios, as well as portfolios more broadly across the Koyfin platform. But one of the big ones we just released is portfolio sharing. If you remember from Watch List sharing, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description, we now allow users to share watch lists much like they would a Google Doc, and the recipient can be a viewer of that watch list, they can duplicate a version for themselves, or they can also be an editor and have teams working within the same watch list. We've just brought that functionality to model portfolios. So the way this works, similar to watch list sharing, is we now have a share icon up here when you're inside a model. And if you go ahead and click that, you'll be able to enter the Koyfin email address of the recipient. You can choose whether they're a viewer, so they can just look at the model and see the data, or an editor, where they can make changes to the allocation or the rebalancing or anything else. So right now, let's go ahead and make this is a huge test at gmail.com a viewer, and we'll share that with them and jump over to their screen. So now the recipient has the model portfolio. It will automatically come into their model portfolios section in Koyfin. If they want, they do have the ability to duplicate this and make their own version. They can also delete the model from their list as well. This little icon here indicates that it is a shared portfolio. And if I go ahead and click in here, I can now see all of the data behind this portfolio, the performance chart, the historical returns, and the risk metrics. But if I was to come and edit this portfolio, I would be blocked from doing so because I'm only a viewer. We then give you the choice to duplicate this or just accept your fate and be a viewer. Duplicating will allow you to then replicate this portfolio and make your own changes, but it won't impact the original sender's portfolio. So now let's see what it looks like if we give someone editor access. I'm going to go to this Mag 7 portfolio that I've built, which basically just tracks the performance of the Magnificent 7 as though it were a benchmark. I'm going to share this with the same user, and I'm going to make them an editor this time. So now we're back on the recipient's Koyfin. Let's go back to our list, and we can see that we now have this Mag 7 portfolio. Let's jump in there. Similarly, we can see everything going on there. There is no expense ratio because these are individual issues. But if I want to now edit the portfolio and make changes to the allocation, I'm free to do so. I can change the benchmark, the custom dates, the advisor fees, the name, and all of the allocations. This feature is going to be great for colleagues, friends, teams, or communities. And it's just the first step of us gradually introducing more shareable capabilities across the entire platform. We have a lot more updates in model portfolios to come, as well as I mentioned, broader, more portfolio-centric features coming to Koyfin this year. So we can't wait to show you those as well. But for now, thank you for listening. Feel free to leave any comments in the comments section below. You can reach out to us on Twitter at KoyfinCharts or email our help desk, which is help@koyfin.com. Thank you.